All right, everybody, please welcome to the Advanced Financial Acoustic Den, 21 Pilots. Oh, come on, guys, keep it going.
Oh, yeah.
All right, everybody, welcome Tyler and Josh. Thank you guys so much for coming and stopping by today to perform for us. Very glad to have you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Have you guys been to Nashville before?
I've been to Nashville several times. Josh, you've been to Nashville too, right? So yeah, we like Nashville.
You guys do anything cool while you're here? Something like every time you come back, you're like, we have to go eat at this place, or we have to go see this again.
I think more than anything is we just gotta listen to the people who live here because they take a lot of pride in that spot. You know what I'm saying? So we go wherever they tell us to go.
So when you're here in Nashville, do you kind of get yourself wrapped up in all the different elements of music that go on in this city? Of course, country, but there is a solid rock scene, a solid pop scene. Mm-hmm. So do you try to kind of hit all little locations that specialize in that music when you're here?
Sometimes live music's just really weird. Concerts in general are just the weirdest thing in the world. And so I haven't really been to many concerts. I've kind of been a lot more on this side of a concert than anything. And so the times that I do go to shows or if I do catch like a local band or something, Josh and I came from being a local band. So I know what it's like, and I know what not to say from learning from watching other bands. You know, like, all right, put your hands up. And it's like 7 people in the room. It's like, dude, come on. Like, I don't want to put my hands up. No, I haven't really been to a country show before. So I need to do that. Yeah. Josh, we need to do that.
Right place for it.
All right.
So let me ask you, you said concerts are weird. I know you were just saying, like, in a room full of 7 people, they say put your hands up, and it's weird. But as a performer, when you're on stage, do you think maybe, why do you think concerts are weird from that perspective?
Well, I think that a lot of bands get up on stage and they have their thing that they do. And the interesting thing about a show to me is that a group of people, a room full of people, they're much smarter than just the individual. So you can get away with a lot in a conversation one-on-one, you know, talking about, oh, great to see you. One, no, it's not. You don't care about the person. Two, you know, like, oh, how's the weather? You don't care about the weather either. But there's a lot of interactions we have that are one-on-one that just don't matter at all. And if a band gets on stage and tries to do some of these things that are predetermined, scripted, for some reason, a room full of people, they think together and they can totally feel out and then smell it. And it's like, I know that, I like your band, I like your songs, but I know you said that last night. And so Josh and I really like to try to bring a level of reality to a stage. You know, we're just a couple of guys, best friends that made some music, and we want to show it to you. And we're not going to do this whole, you know, we don't think that we're very, very cool. You know, even though he's got red hair, which is freaking cool. But we're real about it. And I know I'm standing here in all black with a ukulele in my hand. Most musicians and performers live outside of themselves, and they don't realize the things that they're doing. So I don't know. Sometimes concerts and shows have a it's not real to me. The interactions are fake sometimes.
I like your perspectives.
Josh?
I agree. Can we kind of talk about the history?
Yeah, Josh, you want to tell how we met and everything? Yeah.
We were at can you? Oh yeah. Do I need a microphone?
He's a drummer. I don't know Mike.
I don't know what this is. What is this thing? I never get one of these.
I never get one of these.
We were at a shooting range. I was actually, because I didn't know him at the time, and we were both just kind of like next to each other firing, and I was like kind of like having a hard time like hitting the thing. It was my first time at a shooting range, and he was like hitting it right on the mark every single time, and I was just like, dude, can you show me some pointers? And and he just kind of like came over and.
Oh, I got behind you, didn't I?
Yeah, it was like the kind of thing where he like put his arm around and like grabbed the gun, and like and it was awesome. And so then I tried it on my own and I did it, and we like jumped in the air and high-fived and we hugged.
And then we were like,
let's start a band together.
Yeah.
And so then I think we left directly from there, and went to the studio and made this past record. I don't know. I think that we're just friends, and we just like to play music, and that's really the history of the whole thing. That's the real story.
Good question, though.
So you guys have you released 2 albums before you were picked up by Fueled by Ramen. What was the was it easier to release your album Vessel when you were signed to an album than it was when you were independently putting records out yourself?
I guess easier physically, because when you're releasing albums on your own, you have to carry all the boxes inside of CDs and keep them in your living room to constantly remind you that you're not selling CDs.
Exactly.
No, you know, it's funny because people talk about like, well, this is like your 3rd album. Well, you know, I started writing songs when I was 17, and I got done with 14 of them, and I paid $30 to put them on iTunes, and I did that twice. So, yeah, I guess that's 2 albums. But for me, it was just I wanted to give people an opportunity to hear what I wanted to do, what I wanted to say, what I thought a song should sound like, and it just really was. My parents, my mom wanted a CD of my songs in her car, so I recorded it, and then put it online because I didn't want to talk about it anymore and let people figure it out. And those songs, you know, were the groundwork of our following in our hometown. You know, we were able to play a show and go, here's what you saw today. And that was really important. So those were the first 2 CDs, and then Fueled by Ramen and Atlantic Records came in and kind of took what we were making on our own and just put some like jet fuel in it, I guess. So now a lot of people hear those songs. It's like our goal. What is your goal? What's the point? You know, that's the question, the big question. What's the point? What's the goal? Truly, talk about selling out, you talk about using your songs for advertising, or you talk about, you know, trying to make money and all these things that a lot of musicians and bands and stuff do. Our goal truly is the most we can get. I want to get as many people to hear our songs as possible. And we're gonna make decisions that result in that. And so, because I think that when people can hear these songs and realize that what they're going through, they're not alone. If there's that one moment that we're helping someone, you know, a lot of musicians talk about helping people, but if a song can really help people, because I've been helped by songs, then the whole thing is worth it. Standing right here in front of you is worth it. So that's kind of what we get to do now that we are on a major label who's able to get those songs out to more people. So that was exciting.
Very cool. You just recently released your video for House of Gold. Early October, this month, you released that. I was talking with somebody earlier that is here in the session, and we're talking about your music video, Severed Bodies.
Yeah.
She was wondering what that was all about with Severed Bodies.
Severed Bodies, what's that all about?
Yeah.
The director of that video came up kind of with an idea, and we ran with it. It was the whole cut in half thing, and I like that because the song House of Gold, which we're gonna play next, is very it's very lighthearted sounding. It's short, it's quick, it feels innocent, and I think that paired with a visual that's a little bit more maybe disturbing or just kind of catches you off guard is something that I would like to do with our visuals that go along with our songs, because lyrically I like to do the same thing, where if the song is catchy, if the melody's nice, if the it's packaged just right and it sounds happy and everything. If you once you really get into the lyrics and hear what I'm trying to say, there's that same feeling of a little bit of it catches you off guard, I think. And that's the point. I'd love to try to get people to think. And sometimes you have to write a happy song in order for them to really think about something. So what's the point of the Severed Bodies? This song, House of Gold, I wrote for my mom. And you ever have those fantasies where you're going to, like, die for somebody? Like, someone pulls out a gun and you jump in front of it, or, like, these dreams of, like, well, I would die for my whole family, and making a decision with, in your heart that, like, I would die for these people for sure. And heck, I don't know, maybe today I feel like I would die for a stranger. Sometimes I have these weird fantasies of being able to do that, because I think that's like an ultimate sacrifice that you can't top that, right? And that'd be a great way to go. I mean, come on, that'd be the best. And so I think actually it's pretty easy to decide that you would die for someone. I think the tough part, as a son, as a brother, as a bandmate, as a friend, the hard thing is to live for people. It's hard to make a daily decision to live for someone. It's easy to be like, well, yeah, if you got someone shooting a gun at you, I'm going to jump in front of it. But, trying to live for someone is really hard. So the video having to do with the severed and the weird floating thing and everything, it's one, supposed to kind of oppose the happiness sounding of the song, and two, it's supposed to kind of visualize what I think of when you're kind of balancing between life and death and trying to live for someone and trying to die for someone at the same time. And the song's for my mother, so we're mama's boys. Questions?
Anybody?
Cool. No, really, come on. I'm gonna get one.
Somebody's got to have a question.
Okay. Ask me a question.
What is your favorite song on your album?
To play live or to listen to? Guilty. I listen to my own music. I think one of my favorite songs to play live is a song called "Ode to Sleep." It opens up the album, and we also we've been opening up with that song a lot, and we're used to playing in front of audiences that don't really know who we are, so we like to kind of get their attention, kind of politely smack them in the face a little bit, and then really kind of break down what they think a song is going to sound like, because that's the one that kind of like goes all over the place, which I love. And so it kind of cleans your palate, and it's like, okay, here's the rest of the album, here's the rest of the set. So that's my favorite song. And Josh's favorite song is really any song that doesn't have to do with his wooden box. You love your wooden box, don't you?
Yeah.
Have you named it yet?
No, I'm not gonna name it.
You're not?
LP. I think I'll name it LP.
Okay. What does that stand for? No.
It's Lauren. This is Lauren.
Lauren?
Powers.
Lauren Powers.
Yeah.
She looks good today. All right.
Any other questions? Anybody else?
There's a few of us here that saw you at South by Southwest.
Yeah.
What was that experience like for you guys, playing like 3 shows?
Yeah, it was fun. South by Southwest festival happens every year, and just to give you guys a background, it's a pretty big deal. They asked us to do it, whatever. We were like, whatever, we're free. No, it was cool. It was our first year getting invited to do that, and I always have a bad taste in my mouth towards that, because I've asked them if we could play years prior, and they just would email me, no, but if you want to buy a ticket to go, here's the link. It's like, thanks. Minor chords.